Hey guys, and welcome back to Altruistic Channel. It's me, Al Arabalo, and I wanted to touch base for this segment a little bit more on the basically laying the foundation for most things. So, with having gone over the collective, and kind of a short intro as to what that actually is, and referring back to the book on Amazon, The Moon King with No Kingdom, I guess what I wanted to really refer to now is the doing the work part. So when you tap into something that's spiritually based, you are asked usually to do something specific to atone or whatnot. With the collective consciousness, it's not so much atonement as much as it is looking in onto yourself and taking ownership for your part in everything you experience, which can be a little bit strange because at times you'll be like, well, there are a lot of things that were outside of my control. And here's the thing with that. So I never tell anybody information before they can handle it. So I'm just going to say there's some truth in that, but there's also some truth in maybe the way you were thinking or what you were thinking was possible or not possible. And so sometimes you can stop yourself from proceeding forward with just who you are being at that moment. And so remembering the four agreements that is now very popular on YouTube. One of them is like, never accept, don't take anything personally. And then like one of them is don't ever accept the truth that's not your truth. So when you lay the foundation, you are asked to just look at yourself and look at the darkest parts of yourself. So, but you don't start off at the very darkest, right? You would start off with just things you don't like, or maybe that you're insecure about. I always tell people go for the things that you're kind of insecure about, but that's not really a main energy draw. It doesn't like pull you down or anything, but just start with something simple, and then as you work through it, it'll start to happen more and more. And at some point, if you believe in the collective, you will find that it will start to be triggered when you can't do it for yourself. But it's just the action of actively trying to work on it in a proactive way, right? And so when you lay the foundation for spirituality, understand that it's going to affect the different parts of your life. So specifically with my way of thinking, my specialty, it has to do with strategy and perception and how you can incorporate spirituality, faith, and hope into your business practices and the way you live your life, right? And so that's what I speak to, and it's what I'm really good at. It's what I have a proven track record with. But with the book and the podcasts and all the articles, which there'll be a new article coming out later tonight for the full moon in Aries, which is tomorrow. But I always do something to kind of hit the four corners of my enterprise, which I have a specific vision that I have in mind for like my kingdom, if you will. I said that because of the book that I wrote. It's not like well, maybe you never know. I could end up a king with a kingdom. Who knows? It's anything's possible. There's no limits in this world except the ones we place in front of us. So, it's kind of looking back at that conversation of like, there's no such thing as an actual obstacle. An obstacle is just an opportunity dressed up in a different costume and trying to avoid eye contact. That's all it is. And so as you work through your fundamental belief system, you're going to have to encounter the question of, well, how much do I incorporate into my life and how much I don't? And that's kind of a personal question, and that's kind of where I step in and I kind of go, well, do you have a lot of moral questions or things that you find a little bit um, are you always put at odds with yourself within your profession and so forth? And so we work that way through it. And I always do a survey intake because I find that to be very valuable on my side to kind of look at it objectively. But when you're doing it for yourself, ask yourself a couple things. Are people going to be affected by my changes, or is it going to be something that I can't even see on the outside world? What is it that my goals are? Blah, 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 blah. And you lay the foundation almost like the four pillars of the earth, right? Which in lately, for some reason, I've been thinking of like four different people. I don't know what this is about, but I'm just going to share it. But like, I was thinking of Tim Robbins. I was thinking of J.T. Fox. I was thinking of the Arthur Incubator, Miss Loria, and then for some reason, it's like the four of us were at a meeting. No idea what that's about. But on a weird side, it's kind of like the four pillars of different inspirational people. I can't even compare to them, but I do have the spirituality aspect of it, especially with the collective consciousness. So, but those are dreams, right? So when you start to incorporate the foundation for whatever you're changing about yourself or whatever you're trying to bring in for yourself for the betterment, you're going to start to have to open yourself up to different pathways that the divine energy of your God, whatever you believe it to be, is going to communicate to you. So, for me specifically these days, I didn't used to dream, but now I dream a lot. And so the fact that I dreamt about these three other people who I admire and respect, I can understand Mr. Fox because of the fact that I was just at a seminar of his, But Miss Loria and Mr. Robbins, I've never personally met. I did come in contact with Miss Loria though, because I was the book actually, The Moon King with No Kingdom. I was thinking of trying to get to go through the author incubator, so I have met her, and I have known about Mr. Fox, but Mr. Robin, I have no idea. I love how I'm stuttering all of a sudden. I don't know why. Just the names of these people. Like, anyway, but the moral story is that I'm dreaming about it. So there's something that I'm supposed to look into in the regards to probably what they speak to and what they believe in, because they're inspirational people that are very powerful that I admire. So because of that, I guess that's where I have to go and look. So for me, because I laid it into my foundation, I have come to an understanding that the divine energy speaks to me in the way that would relate to what I would be interested in. And so there's something that I need to find or understand that one of the three people that I've mentioned before all have in common, or whatever it is. And I'll do that later tonight. But the point is, I did the foundation work where I looked into all of my aspects, and I really looked at my goals, and I really looked at what it was that I was trying to manifest for myself, and I looked at what the repercussions would be for people around me, and I looked at whether or not something was worth it, and then boom, it was kind of taken out of my hands because I got to a plateau. I couldn't go any further, which is why in my company, what I do with the C-suite executives would be to get them over that plateau. Because from an outside source, I have a great ability to look at any situation and find exactly a different perspective on the same subject that leads to good results, right? But when it comes to myself, it's like a personal gain thing. I'm usually blind to what's in front of me personally, because of the fact that I just feel like there should be no personal gain when you tap into like the divine energy, into a good communication with him, right? Or her, whatever you believe it to be. But it all starts with a good foundation. And so that begins with first understanding what it is that you're looking at, and then understanding if it has value to you, and then finding out what you mean by you. Are you talking about you, the body? Are you talking about the ego? Are you talking about your intuition? Are you talking about your faith? Are you talking about, where are you applying this to? And if it's all one and the same, if you've reached a point of maturation where you're like, okay, as an adult, what am I trying to convey, or what am I trying to manifest? Then you're at a good start. And so then you start to look for people, I guess, well, actually, that's probably why I thought of the other three, is because those are very prominent people that are very, what I call wisdom or gatekeepers. They are instrumental in their own fields. Mr. Robbins is instrumentally, profoundly experienced in the personal world and as a life coach. And then Mr. Fox is unbelievably powerful in entrepreneurship and actually investing in people that he brings up and that become themselves. And then Miss Loria is unbelievably powerful in the world of the gatekeeper for the wisdom, for knowledge. She has books and books and books and books that are bestsellers. So all of these people are instrumental in their own way. I guess if I was including myself, I guess spiritually I can get you to where you need to be and incorporating it into the other facets of the other. So all four are pillars, and they have their own strength. And so that would be something that you, as when you started to lay your foundation, might look at, is who you find that you're made of the same cloth, and start to work in ways that lay the foundation for you to be comfortable and in your skin. And so when you lay the foundation, you lay the pillars that will hold the structure, and you put the effort into making sure that it's on sound surface, that doesn't move and is unwavering. Because at the end of the day, whichever of the people that you're looking at, you're going to be looking at it from the standpoint of, do they own their space? And do you trust the fact that they know what they're doing? And the answer in all four is yes, you would. Because even, I don't have an ego in this investment, but there's nothing that can deny the fact that I've done the work. I've had the books and I've had the experience. But it's about you feeling akin to me, right? And so then you would find the right one for you. It's all about mentorship and so forth. So when you look at stuff, go all the way with it. Don't just go in half-assed. Go in with the commitment level that you want backed. So if you want to become a millionaire, then you go in with $1 million idea, and you don't stop until you get it done. And that's basically where I wanted to just leave this segment. But just remember that. Lay a solid foundation. Look for people around you that can help you, and understand that you're going to be putting in as much effort as you get back, right? So it's reciprocity. And that's it for Alan Altruistic Channel. I hope you guys have a great night.